Hello sir, I am going to represent the presentation on the topic of programmable digital signal processing. So first of all, what is the programmable DSP? In that we have to take the analog signals such as the audio, video, picture, etc. Then this analog signal can be converted into the digital signal. We did the digital signal processing for the suppression of the noise without any loss. Then this digital signal is again converted into the analog signal. We will get the output signal. The the programmable DSP is also known as the DSP processor. The DSP processor are general purpose microprocessor designed specially for the digital signal processing. The DSP processor containing the special instructions and the special architecture. It is capable of performing the various techniques such as the transformation to the frequency domain, then adventuring, then filtering techniques, etc. The DSP processors are fabricated on the metal oxide semiconductor circuit chip. The main aim, the main aim of DSP processor is to measure, filter, or compress the continuous real-world analog signal. There are so many features of DSP processors such as the low power, low cost, high signal processing capabilities, high flexibility, low design cost, powerful data path, provide the special instruction set, also the pipelining, saturation arithmetic, single inputs, multiple data. These are the major features of the DSP processor. DSP processor used in various applications such as we can use in music application like tape recorder, we can use in speech recognition system, then we can use in tracking radars, target detection and positioning system, then we can use in mobile microprocessor, microcontroller, etc. Then this DSP processor have the two main architecture. The first one is von Neumann architecture and second one is the Harvard architecture. So first we see the von Neumann architecture. The von Neumann architecture consists of central processing unit, memory unit and input output device. So the von Neumann architecture have only the one single memory bus. Therefore, the data and instructions are stored in the same memory. Also, the data and instruction uses the same memory. The the von Neumann architecture operates the fetching and execution. It is relatively very cheap and requiring the less spin. Also, it requires the less space. The data and instruction uses the same memory. Therefore, it doesn't support to the multiple memory accesses. In von Neumann architectures, the first is memory unit, which is used to store the instructions for our program and also the data that is used by those programs during their execution. Then we have the CPU, which is responsible for carrying out the instructions. In that we have a control unit which figure out which instructions to be run. Then in that we have the arithmetic logic unit. Arithmetic logic unit performs the mathematical operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, etc. Then the last is IO device, which allows the computer to interact with the outside world via the various devices such as the keyboard, mouse, monitor, printer, etc. There are so many advantages of von Neumann architecture. Uh, Control units gets the data and instruction in the same way from the one memory. Then the data from memory and from the device are accessed in the same way. The development of the control unit is very cheaper and faster. Then easy memory organization. Then the another advantages of von Neumann architecture is the code is executed serially and it takes the more clock cycle. Also, it is better for the desktop computers, laptops, workstations, and the high performance computer. Then the program can be optimized in smaller size. There are some disadvantages of von Neumann architecture. Only the one bit of information can be accessed at once. The instructions and the data uses the same memory, therefore sometimes it creates the confusion between the data and instruction. The serial instruction processing does not allow the parallel execution. Then another disadvantage is it handles only one task at a time. And then another architecture is Harvard architecture. It consists of ALU, control unit, IO device, instruction memory, and the data memory. The Harvard architecture and von Neumann architecture are almost same, but in Harvard architecture have the separate memory storage for the instruction and data. In that the CPU can access the instructions and read write data at the same time. The Harvard architecture have the separate buses for the both data and instructions, such as the data bus, instruction address bus. The advantages of the Harvard architecture are since it has the two memories, this allows the parallel access to the data and instructions. The data and instructions are accessed the same way. The another advantages is the both the memories can uses the different cell size. There are some disadvantages such as the free data memory cannot be used for the instructions. Also the program cannot be write itself. Then the development of the control unit is very expensive. The last is comparison between Harvard and von Neumann architecture. In Harvard architectures have the separate data and instruction memory, while in von Neumann architectures have the common data and instruction memory. In Harvard architecture, the execution of the instructions are fast, while in von Neumann architectures, the instructions are slow. In Harvard architectures, the execution of the instructions takes the less instruction cycle, while in von Neumann, it takes the more instruction cycle. In Harvard architectures, the chip design is very complex, while in von Neumann architectures, the chip design is very easy. Harvard architecture is used in microcontrollers such as the 8051, while the von Neumann architecture used in microprocessors such as the 8085 and 8086.